So very good day to everybody. This is controlling of logistics business processes, and in today's class we'll discuss about supply chain restructuring and about the advanced planning and scheduling software. Okay, so this is especially for you, my dear students and young researchers, and you can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. Right, so before beginning the session, once again let me thank God for giving me this opportunity to deliver this useful session to share my knowledge among my fellow national, international participants, students and young researchers. Right. So in this class, we'll discuss about the challenges of reshoring. Actually, in the last class, we discussed about nearshoring, reshoring principles. We'll discuss about the challenges, how to restructure your supply chain, and what are the 4 basic functions of the marketing logistics. Then we'll go for the software, the advanced planning and scheduling software. What is the relationship between the logistics and marketing? Okay, because they go hand to hand. Okay, and how does the functioning of marketing logistics takes place? And we'll discuss about La Rouge logistic. So that's a Spanish kind of principle. We'll be discussing that one, and we'll also discuss about warehouse of Charles Chocolatier. Okay, right. So at regular intervals, I'll be giving you some short videos to discuss the knowledge in our topics. Right. So we already discussed about challenges. Okay, so whether you take in the case of reshoring or maybe nearshoring, of course it has its own individual benefits, but everything has its own challenges even. Okay, for example, high cost, like there will be higher production cost, labor cost, material expenses, place to store. Okay, everything is going to add up. The making this reshoring, of course it's a expensive option when you compare to the offshoring. Okay, so low labor and of course material cost of offshoring is the advantage that you will enjoy over reshoring principles for enjoying better margins. Okay, and we have lack of infrastructure and high skilled workers. So if you take in the case of the near shore manufacturing sites, that's an example, you see fewer laborers and of course most highly skilled workers even. So that is also a problem. Okay, so certain aspects of production even has been automated as we go on and on through the years, and manufacturing site even needs more high skilled workers in order to maintain this automation equipment. Okay, so the basic challenge we have is lack of manpower. So you have to find individuals that have skills required for the jobs. We have more people, but we have less skilled people. Okay, so many developed countries are not yet up to the mark of setting up this manufacturing locations because manufacturing efforts have been offshored for so long. Okay, so the initial cost that is actually laid out in order to set up the production site, that is the reason why the infrastructure is not yet prepared to. Okay, then legal troubles also can turn up. Okay, when you are going to reshore one's productions. So maybe if the company has maybe contracts with the suppliers in a foreign country, you have to discuss with a lawyer, a patent, an attorney, okay, or maybe an industry experts, how you can make the contracts viable, and of course how it can meet the standards between country to country. Okay, so the first step towards restructuring the supply chain, you have to go for the restructuring analysis. Okay, so that can enable you to find more options to discover where the weak links are in the supply chain, how to identify them, and how you can fight to solve these problems. Okay, so when you have to decide whether to offshore or maybe nearshore or maybe reshore, so you'll go for TCO analysis, total cost of ownership analysis. So that plays a vital role. Okay, so TCO was popular during this 1980s by Gartner. That's a technology research and consulting company. Okay, so this is how you're going to restructure your supply chain. So we'll have all the costs associated with the production that will include like overlooked expenses. Okay, last minute flight to inspect a particular supplier site. Okay, so that's how the tool might be useful, beneficial. Okay, so with the final cost of production from the supplier, what are the hidden costs that are available, what are the unexpected costs that are available when maybe if it is too late to deliver the products. Okay, So we'll restructure our supply chain. We'll have a strategy fit review. Then we'll go for risk analysis. Then diligence, deal structure and pricing, integration of all these components, and after that also post integration you also make the analysis, get the relevant feedback. Okay. So when it comes to calculating this TCO, okay, you have to calculate all the costs that is associated with the manufacturing your entire products. Okay, so that can be like cost of raw materials, what you have to pay for the laborers, the storage that you will pay, then of course the insurance that you have to invest. Okay, so maybe you will have a third party supply chain management team even, so that can be much more familiar with the the common as well as uncommon expenses that you will need to create or maybe restructure your supply chain. Okay, so we identify 4 basic functions of marketing logistics. First, delivery of product. So first function, you have to locate where your customers are and how you are planning in order to get the particular product to the consumer within the time limit that they are actually requesting in a time bound. So that can be locating the 3PL, third party logistics operations, or maybe constructing a distribution network that can help deliver the product to the customers at ease. Okay, so logistics needs is not the same for every consumer. It might vary from consumer to consumer, and you need to prepare a plan for these particular occurrences in order to make sure that the customer expectations are met according to the deadlines that you are facing. Then price decides. So pricing decisions are made on both internal as well as external factors. So you have to identify, you have to recognize these price drivers. So maybe the profile of the customer, the product, the type of the order. So these are all like factors that can determine the price. Okay, so you cannot basically come to a conclusion just with one particular factor. So these changes will not be controlled through the marketing logistics, but of course you should have a rapport with a marketing logistics that you will maintain. So you should identify, you should react to these particular factors. You should understand how these factors like the profile of the consumer, the product, the type of the order, everything, how it is going to affect the customer decisions. Okay, then promotion or advertisement is very, very important. So within the marketing, promotion is a very important task or maybe the topic that can lead to increased sales. So promotion, that's where you will associate with the marketing logistics. Okay, so maybe when new product comes into business, okay, so operation has to make sure that both the communication that you will employ and of course coordination are being conducted, that makes the right delivery to the consumers fully. It is being utilized to meet the deadlines. So marketing logistics makes sure that all entities work together and produce the marketing materials that is needed to sell the particular product. Okay, then the place, the actual location. Okay, so that's how you enable the operation to simplify the transaction between the logistics provider and the customer who is actually getting the delivery. Okay, so the consumer has to be blind about how the product arrives so quickly at their doorstep. Okay, not exposing the backroom process involved with the logistics delivery. Every time it is like tracking, where are you, it is that the consumer doesn't like to. Okay, so it should go on as a fashion. Okay, so output is very, very important than the process with the consumers, because consumers don't have to have an idea about the process. They want that within the time limit. Okay, right. So you have to have a warehouse or maybe a distribution center that is particularly located near to the customers or maybe consumers to ensure that the delivery times are fulfilled within the particular time frame that they are actually requesting. So that leads to loyal customers, happy customers, and of course increased customers. Okay, so for this one we try to maintain a software that's advanced planning and scheduling software. So it's all about how you try to optimize the concept of scheduling that makes an advanced planning event. So for the day-to-day modern day manufacturing facilities as well, who are in the process of seeking their operation to the next level, maybe in terms of efficiency, performance, or maybe waste reduction, of course your APS, advanced planning and scheduling software, will definitely be the right solution. So it enables manufacturers to have an insight, to have a detailed analytics, the visibility, transparency of the entire operations, and maybe reduce all those inefficiencies which are there in the process, that will have a competitive advantage over your peer competitors. Okay. Yeah. So this APS, advanced planning and scheduling software, is must needed for the modern day manufacturing operation, because the customer demand has been increasing. Okay, so that has been increased over the years with the increased product mix, and of course fast delivery, efficiency, and of course at their rural or maybe your urban location it should be delivered to, but of course cost constraint is also there. Okay, so we try to have an enterprise resource planning system, or maybe a management resource planning software that can fill the gaps for scheduling, the flexibility, as well as not compromising on the performance and accuracy. Okay, so APS is going to help the planners save time while providing greater flexibility in updating the ever-changing priorities, whether it is high or maybe low or medium, the schedules that you will try to maintain, and of course the plans that you will take part in order to meet the demands. So you have to create a optimized schedule, balancing the production efficiency and of course delivery performance. So you're going to maximize the output on the bottleneck resources. That is how you are going to increase the revenue. So synchronization of supply with the demand you are going to take forward in order to reduce the inventories. Okay, so enable the scenario for the data driven decision making. So demand planning will go for network optimization, supply chaining, supply planning. Okay, and then order promising, factory scheduling. So everything has been linked. Okay, it's not like one to one. Okay, so there is relationship between each and every component here. Okay, so marketing logistics is there for the entire process, like before, during, and maybe after any sales process even. Okay, so we'll understand the relationship. Okay, before the sale, how there is relationship between logistics and marketing. So as part of this marketing logistics strategy, so marketing and of course logistics, it works as a coordinated team to follow a common customer service policy. So this way the logistics team is going to determine what are the deadlines that are available, who are the marketing department who is responsible for communicating to the end customers. So another point of collaboration between the marketing and logistics is how you try to organize these advertising campaigns. Okay, so you have to agree on the changes in the product sizes, what are the added values that are available, what are the proposing packs that you will put forward to the consumer. Okay, and you try to update the merchandise labeling and coding schemes as well. Okay, so you have to calculate the forecast of the sales, stock turnover, so you need not have to worry about the stock out problems. Okay, so that affects the management of the locations in the warehouses. Okay, so you have to identify what are the excess inventory that are available in the warehouse, and you have to make sure that this data is being available to those who participate in the advertisement campaigns. Okay, so with this particular information, promotions can be much more at ease in order to prevent the stock out problem, and of course free up the storage space even. Okay, so we discussed before the sale. Now during the sale, so logistics management, of course, it is playing a vital role in making sure to guarantee inventory availability to prevent stock out problem. So you have to designate safety stock levels, okay, in accordance with the marketing as well as the sales plan. Okay, and of course efficiently manage what are the inventory information that is available, so that both the marketing department as well as the commercial department can consider their sales strategies and of course the promotion campaigns. Okay, right, so that is how you have the safe stock levels and you prevent all the problems that you identify during the process. So prepare orders in the warehouse, especially to reduce the cycle time, and of course ensure that they try to get delivered without any particular problem. Okay, so you try to guarantee product traceability to inform the customers and of course the other stakeholders who are participating in the process of the supply chain of the status of each and every order. Okay. So logistics is all about how you try to maintain a healthy relationship between the materials management and physical distribution. If you take in the case of material management, we have manufacturing, sourcing, inventory, packaging, recycling and reusing is also there. With the case of physical distribution, of course, you have to identify what are the modes of transportation, warehousing, location, wholesale, retail. So that is how you try to establish a vital relationship. Right. Then DTC, direct to consumer or direct to customer model. Okay. So organize the transport and of course delivery of the merchandise by the time period or maybe the delivery times that you will try to maintain. So the process are much more quick, much more smart, much more effective as well. So the actual moment of delivery is very important for the businesses because we have DTC models that are helpful. Okay. So for this case, you have to explore what are the single channels that are available. Omni-channel solutions, for example, buy online, pick up in store. Okay, so that you can go for, or maybe shipments to the exact delivery points. Okay, to enhance the quality of the last mile productivity. There is also another one way to deliver on the promise of marketing logistics. That is how you will have to develop the concept of integrated supply chain that is monitored, specifically analyzed in real time, through which information flows from one end to another and back forth, fostering teamwork that enable the usage of the links in the supply chain. Okay. And after the sale, which means and delivery. So the logistics marketing experience extends beyond delivery. It's not like okay, we have delivered, okay, our process is finished. Okay. So on the other hand, the customer might request an exchange or maybe return. So that policy should also be there. Okay. So reverse logistics, that is where plays a vital role here to provide the pickup, exchange for another item. That is what you will have with the Amazon, Flipkart. Okay. Or maybe temporary replacement. Maybe you give another one, get another one. Okay. That is what you will have. So on the other hand, if the goods and maybe services, the customers are satisfied means, so the logistics marketing approach, which means the plan worked successfully. Okay. So marketing department is not the department which is going to stop from there. However, it is going to continue. Okay. So it is going to analyze what are the new data being generated, taking into account the customer loyalty, because we need happy customers. We need increased customers. Okay. So information, data is of vital importance. So that is how you will go for personalization of future promotional messages. So how actually this marketing logistics is going to work? Okay, so you are going to implement the strategy specially centered, directed towards logistics marketing. So that is how you will try to develop a customer oriented approach. So that is going to work with the supply chain. Okay, so that is where CSCMP, Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals. So it's a body. Okay. So that they believe that the customer service will be the factor that is going to differentiate brands in the next 5 years that is going to come here. So how we are going to lay down the groundwork for this particular scenario. Okay. So once more, marketing and logistics go hand in hand. Okay. So you have to need to work side by side in each of the stage. Okay. So understand the customer needs, analyze the platform. What is the ongoing competition? So to do this, you have to use tools, maybe like surveys, market studies, and of course supply chain benchmarking as well with the local, regional, national, and of course international even. Okay. So identify difference between the company's desired capacity and actual capacity. So that is how you try to identify what are the key performance indicators that you will enable with your supply chain to detect points to improvise in the quality of the service. Okay, QoS. Okay. So for example, like many brands maybe in the retail sector offer shipments like 24/7, maybe through the online shops. So customers will understand what to expect from them and what are the policies that are available. Okay. Then try to review your options for gaining the strategic advantage over your peer competitors. So you have to make a list of possible actions that you can lay down to implement. So that can be involving like speeding up package handling, by installing conveyors, especially in the warehouse locations, or maybe switching to the logistics provider that is going to have a fast express shipping as well. And assess, okay, decide, and of course select the alternatives. So each of these actions will be having an associated cost, so that involves calculated and of course potential advantage. That is how you try to explore all the options regarded to it. Okay. So there is no general method for calculating the process, but the logistics service needs to be thought as a very important characteristic when it is connected to the particular product. So the decision regarding which logistic improvements to carry out is the strategic role that you will try to play in all of these marketing actions. And the fifth one, structure the new service offer and of course set targets. Okay, so it's very important to be consistent with the measures being introduced, what you are going to propagate, and how you will set the targets or demand features. Okay, so broadcasting their voices maybe in the social media platforms, the customers will not have to be too tolerant with the brands that is going to provide a certain level of service. But of course sometimes what happens, they give more of the colorful pictures, but in the end it is failing to deliver. Okay, so that, okay, it is also both a positive as well as a negative aspect even, so that can also try to backfire. Okay, so that can damage a business reputation even, that can negatively impact the company's turnover. So if you are making false promises and in turn nothing happens. Okay, so these are some of the examples. Distribution center of La Rouge Logistic. Okay, so logistic providers are the most important organizations that can actively use this logistics marketing approach to gain competitiveness. Okay, so La Rouge Logistic is going to help to organize the warehouse due to increase, much more higher increase in the customers and of course orders that can take place. So additionally, as the firm is going to provide e-commerce, so additionally, as the firm is going to provide e-commerce logistics services, you have to dispatch orders just within few hours, personalize each of the service that you are going to give it to the customers. And for this one, you will have to maintain easy warehouse management system. So that is basically a warehouse management system. So that has allowed to reduce errors, especially for 100% order fulfillment, maybe like 2 or maybe 3 a day, maybe to practically 0, so that errors has been reduced. Okay, so even it can inform the customers what is the tracking process, what is this particular status. Okay, so that is how you have the tracking numbers, especially with the ECWMS, with the use of this multi-carrier shipping software. So that's the advantage that you will enjoy with the software. Right. So then you will have chocolatier marketing logistics strategy. So that's different one. Here the concern is QoS, quality of service, quality control. So this French company wants to have a full control over the conditions of where the chocolates have been stored. So warehouse automation was actually adopted. Okay, so we'll have pallets, even pallet conveyors that was being installed to improvise safety, hygiene, control temperature, everything to preserve the chocolates at the particular desired location. Okay, so here also we have easy warehouse management system that can involve managing of good flows, okay, especially during high peaks. Okay, and of course traceability of where are these foodstuffs. Okay, so chocolatier installation, of course it is going to meet the demand, especially during the holiday seasons like maybe Christmas, Easter. Okay, so that candy chocolates being available, it is going to meet all the deadlines, and of course without no compromise on the QoS, quality of service.